You cannot be serious!
And a smile from Graff. What an athlete she is!
Hey everybody, this is Mark, and this is another version of Passing Shots, where I talk a little bit about my favorite sport, and that's tennis. I know I always have a lot of clutter in the background. I might have a little more than usual. That's because I'm getting ready to go on a cruise in a couple days. It's my first time going on a cruise. I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it. Leaving out of Miami, going to St. Martin, the Bahamas, where else? It's a whole week. I hope I don't get seasick because I'm not the best swimmer. But anyhow, I'm coming to you today with a topic that I think has been in the back of a lot of people's minds, those tennis fanatics out there. To me, it's the elephant in the room, the elephant on the circuit, the elephant in the sport. And that is, what in the world is happening to women's tennis? What's wrong with it? Now listen, before you start bashing me, before you start calling me a chauvinist, look, there was a period where I was far more interested in watching the women play than the men. There was a period where the rivalries just seemed more compelling than it did on the men's circuit. I mean, to me, one of the greatest rivalries in sport is Chris Evert and Martina. You know, even though Martina had Chrissy's number during the later years, just the amount of times that they played, the circumstances in which they played under, oftentimes it was in finals, just how they dominated the sport for so long was very intriguing. And then after that era, we had, you know, Lindsay Davenport, we had Tracy Austin, we had Steffi Graff, Monica Seles, Jennifer Capriati, Martina Hinges. I mean, the list just goes on. And that was even before, I think, the Williams sisters came around. I mean, the heyday in women's tennis, there was about a year or two where we had Gabriella Sabatini. I mean, oh my God, they just coming up. But there was a period where we had the Williams sisters, Capriati, Hinges. I think Steffi was still hanging in there. Lindsay was around. Maybe even Seles. I mean, that was like, you know, once they got to the quarters, it was like on. You know, there were no bad matches, you know. And I don't know what's happened to that. You know, it just does not seem as appealing to me than the men's. And I'm not saying that just because right now I think the rivalry on the men's tour is just so compelling with Federer, Nadal, Djokovic, Murray, you know. I just think outside of Serena, who is there? There's like Serena, and then there's the rest of the tennis players, you know. There's no competition. Every commentator who sort of speaks on a match with Serena is like, okay, it's Serena's match to win or lose. And it's true. You know, I got up on my screen now like the top 10 women's tennis players, and I'm looking at it. You know, of course, Serena's #1, Lee Na's #2, who I enjoy watching, by the way. You know, I like her game. You know, I know a lot of the women have two-handed backhands, but I kind of like that one-hander. I like, you know, bringing that sort of old school one-handed back. Remember that Steffi Grass slice? Do y'all remember that Steffi Graff slice backhand? Everybody talked about her forehand, but I always thought that slice backhand was just as potent in a lot of instances. But we got, Radwanska, pretty good player. I wouldn't necessarily watch her unless she's playing like Serena or something. Victoria Azarenka, I do like watching Victoria. Simona Halep, not familiar with her. Petra Vitova, not sure. Maria Sharapova would be good to watch. I still kind of like to watch her, especially when she plays Serena, but Serena spanks her all the time. Jelena Jankovic, I do like watching Jelena Jankovic. Angelique Kerber, don't know too much about her, but I think she's a new player coming on the scene. And Dominika Kibulakova. I'm sorry if I got the name wrong. Any of you ladies, hope I didn't get your name wrong. And let me just say, it's no offense to the players now. No offense to the association. I guess things just sort of go in spurts, and right now, women's tennis is just not that exciting to me. However, whenever I put something out like that, I always like to give a solution. And I have two solutions. The first is do away with the age restriction rule. All right. Start throwing your tomatoes at me. I know the reason for it. We want to have well-rounded women players. We want them to be fully mature and developed for the circuit. Yada, 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 yada. Look, if there is a 14 or 15-year-old who can get on the court and give Serena Williams some go, or give Lee Na some go, let them play. Come on now, Tracy Austin, Monica Seles, even Steffi Graff, I think was like 16 or whatever. Jennifer Capriati. When these players were 14 and like 15 years old, and they were, in the top 10, making to the finals of the Grand Slam tournaments. If they have the skill, let them play. I know Jennifer ran into some problems, and everybody was like, oh, that's because she started so young, and da-da-da-da-da. But I don't feel that that's an age thing. I personally feel it's an American thing, because a lot of these foreign players who start young, they do okay. They do okay. And I hope that doesn't come off the wrong way. I'm not quite sure, but I would suggest that. That was appealing to people. People wanted to see these young phenoms and how they would compete against, the top-ranked players. I know that there's some 14 or 15 year old phenom somewhere down in Florida or somewhere over in Argentina that got the game to maybe knock Serena down or knock Lena down or whatever. Give them a shot. Second, and this is a hard one. This is going to be a hard one, and this may take some years, because this ain't really happening too much anymore. But I wish that there would be some coach out there that would take one of these young, really male or female players, but I'm going to say female for the purpose of this video, and teach them a serve and volley game that we have never seen before. All right? Teach them a serve and volley game far better than Martina Navratilova, Stefan Edberg. I mean, And just mix it up. I know that this is the era of the baseline game, and but I know that there is a player out there that has the skill set and hopefully the coaching just to defy the odds right now and have a serve and volley game that would just mix it up a little bit, you know. I used to love watching, you know, the aggressive player versus the counter puncher and all that type of. I used to love watching Chris Evert trying to pass Martina, or Beyond Board trying to pass Ili Nastasi, or, you know, John McEnroe, or, you know, I sort of missed that a little bit. You know, I don't want too much of it because I like variety in the sport. I really like seeing the players, you know, stroke. But I think that's what's needed. I think we need another Martina Navratilova to come on the scene. Yvonne Goolagong, those players that had that nice serve and volley game. Billie Jean King. It's out there. I know that there's some female players. She's about 6'4". Okay, that can do it. But right now, it's not much out there in women's tennis. And those are just my suggestions. Tell me what you think, you know. Again, no offense to the women's tennis players. I love all of you all. You are great. Hey, Jennifer Capriati, where are you? What's going on with you? Just curious. I brought up your name and I'm just wondering what's happening. But, leave your comments. Let me know what you think. If you agree, or if you just think I'm a chauvinist and I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. All right, you guys. I'm going to start packing, trying to get this place organized to get ready for my cruise. Take it easy. Thanks for watching.